The kitchen when we moved in was horrible. It had really old cabinets, rust-colored walls, so it was really dark.
Our last kitchen, I did most of the work myself and it took about a year.
You wouldn't know where to put the stuff next to the stove because actually there wasn't even a counter next to the stove.
I kept saying I'm not ready to do it.
We'd been through it once and knew we could do it again.
One day I came home from my work and my wife is ripping the walls apart. And I think she was ready to start. This house is from the 1920s. Outside it's charming. The character and nature of this home from the time period has a lot of characteristics that I love. I live here with my wife, Ronna, my son, Owen, and my daughter, Amelia. I'm an architect, and my approach as an architect to kitchens is to make it look original to the house while still updating the homes to work with more modern lifestyle. The entire layout of the kitchen was awkward.
The flow was so bad, and a major reason for that was there were 4 doors in really bad locations.
One door was to the laundry room, one door was to the outside, one door was to the dining room, and another door to the breakfast room. Size was one issue, but it was primarily the circulation.
One huge priority was adding counter space and making sure it was all connected.
So what we did was move all the doors to one side and move the kitchen to the other side. We knocked down the wall between the utility room and the kitchen, then we moved the interior stairway door to one side too. So all the circulation's on one side, people walking in and out, the kids are walking in and out, and we're working on the other side of the kitchen, which is the stove, the refrigerator, and the sink.
When we looked at redesigning the kitchen, one way that we could have enlarged it was by eating into the space in the breakfast nook. But we really liked eating in that breakfast nook.
And we decided there's a cute little arch and we have a nice cabinet and we'd rather have that rather than tearing down the wall.
We also realized if we kept that wall and that arch, that wall would give us space to add this whole giant cabinet, like a china cabinet. The china cabinet was a really great way to give us extra storage. We purposely designed it in such a way that there's glass on the top so you can show pretty things. The lower part we designed with drawers that you can't see what's inside. So it's really a great place to put ugly stuff like Tupperware. One area in particular that I really appreciated was this cabinet right above the refrigerator to put stuff that we don't use all that much.
There's a lot of new elements that you don't have in a 1920s kitchen. One's a dishwasher, there's a microwave. I like to hide the microwave. In our kitchen, we put it in an upper cabinet, and it works fine. Our refrigerator, it's a standard depth refrigerator. I put a recess in the wall so we could push it back. It's about a $700 refrigerator. A lot of times we're using paneled refrigerators, which start at about $7,000. The kitchen cabinets are custom. You can see the frame of the cabinet, the doors are inset. So again, it's indicative of a 1920s cabinet, but it functions much better. Now the drawer slides, so it functions very well.
One thing we knew we wanted to do was brighten up the kitchen. We had a color consultant help us, and the trick she told us was the ceiling color is 50% of the wall color. And I think that just helps with the contrast, with the molding. The other interesting trick was raising the ceiling.
It feels like a bigger room. It allows for bigger windows. It allows for cabinets to be taller.
We knew we wanted to put in a much bigger window and a door with glass in it. One way to save money, obviously, was to look at salvage materials. Rob happened to drive by a neighbor's house around the corner and noticed they were getting rid of these old windows, and turned out they were an exact match.
I went and bought an old door, and it's a beautiful door. It has lovely proportions. The sides are, 2¼ inches. The divided lights are at 7/8 inch. So it has all these different characteristics. The stove we got from a friend who actually never used it. He moved into a house and said, I don't want an old stove. I don't know if it works. They're almost free on Craigslist in any part of the country right now.
I love the look of it for sure. It's a little temperamental, but it's the price you pay, I guess. When you have the stove against a wall, you often don't have a lot of space on either side. So we have little cabinets on each side that are pretty narrow, and those work great for cookie sheets. And we also have these tiny little drawers that are right above those cabinets, and I found those fit spices perfectly. Above the stove, we have this little built-in for our salt and pepper that I think is just a nice detail to have over the stove.
The stove, it's critical in keeping the appearance of an old home. So the hood, to me, it's like the stove. So here I wanted to make the hood integral to the walls. So it's the same material as the walls, but it's also reminiscent of a fireplace.
Even though it has its challenges with collecting stains and getting nicked easily, we decided to use Carrara marble.
It's just reminiscent of an older time period.
Someone recommended putting sealer on it like 10 times. And so we did that this time. We just really loaded up the sealer.
This sink, it's what it would have looked like originally. It's back from the face of the cabinet. It's porcelain. There's a wall faucet.
When we ripped up the linoleum, we were happy to find that the floor underneath was this pretty fur, but we were surprised to find that in this one area, there was the top of a tin can that someone had used apparently to patch the floor, which was very strange, but Rob liked it. He thought it had character, was sort of unusual, so we just kind of left it there.
I don't know why I like it. I just like this thing that was original to the house. It's unusual.
Staying in the character of the house has always been really important to Rob as an architect. The one thing I didn't understand that Rob designed was this little butler's pantry hallway that connected the kitchen to the dining room. So I just kind of said, okay, I'll just go with it. I'll trust you on that one. I really like it. I like the little area where we have a little, it almost looks like a little desk with the dark wood. I like that a lot.
And it has a curved ceiling with a skylight. It's quite a lovely space.
It's actually one of my favorite parts of the kitchen now. I think it just adds a lot of charm having this nice arch and having the arch for the pantry area matching the arch that goes to the breakfast nook, which is original.
We're really happy with the kitchen in terms of how it functions, in terms of how it relates to the other spaces. It works really well.
We can have Amelia putting away dishes from the dishwasher, Owen on the other side putting away the silverware, Rob and I cleaning up, and then the dog, of course, is sitting right in the middle of it all.
A lot of the charm with older homes is the scale. Once you go to something bigger, you lose the charm.
We looked at trying to make it bigger, and it didn't seem to really work with the design of the house. And I don't regret it because our kitchen seems big enough.